to this episode of Retro Gamers on the Road, where I show you various items that we've picked up on our travels while out and about, locally and other areas as well. This time I stayed local to Plymouth town centre to see what bits and bobs I could find from various charity shops and CEX as well. Now I've found a few games and a few vintage electronics as well, which I want to go through with you. I was quite excited what I found today, and I've probably spent maybe between 25 and 30 quid today on little bits and pieces, little curios, stuff that I might be able to sell for a little bit more money and things like that. So starting off, my first find was Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo Wii. This game's getting quite difficult to get now, I find, so although it's not doing mega money on eBay yet, I might hold on to this until the time where the new game is at least shown off for the Switch, because I think this is then going to raise in value. It came with the disc, the VIP code as well, and the booklet, precautions booklets as well, so I was quite happy with that, and that cost me £2, so I was quite happy with that find. I also, in the same charity shop, managed to find Marvel Superhero Squad, which is a relatively late game for the Wii, probably around about 2010 this came out in this country. Again, it's got the booklet and precautions manual with it. Pleased with that find. That's going to go into my own collection because I don't actually own that. So that was £2 that cost. So that's hardly breaking the bank. That's pretty good. Also in the same charity shop there as well, I found another Wii game, surprise surprise, a copy of Disney's Cars 2, which was actually £1, and again, this is quite a late release for the system, so it's got a nice shiny disc. It's probably around about 2009 that this game came out. It's got the Disney reward code in there, which you don't often see with these Disney games that are plundered a long time ago to get rewards from Disney's website. You've got the booklet in there as well, and your precautions manual. So I'm quite pleased that that's a complete copy. The disc is also in pretty good condition, so for £1, quite happy. I then went up the road a little bit and went into another charity shop and found yet more games, this time for the Xbox 360. I found myself a copy of Minecraft, which was £1, and this game didn't come with a booklet anyway because it's quite a late release on the Xbox 360. By that point they stopped giving you booklets anyway. So that was £1. I was pleased. It does more money than on eBay. It'll probably do between £8 and £10. So that's going to make me a lot of money. I got the Lego Lord of the Rings, which Lego games are pretty evergreen. They're quite popular across the board with children and adults alike. This sort of kids game on the 360 now does quite good money on eBay, so that'll probably do me between £8 and £10, I would think. And that cost me £1. It comes complete with the booklet and the disc. The disc is actually in good condition, which with kids games you've got to be really careful with, because kids get their hands on them, they get scratched up, and then they can end up not working, or they can be very patchy whether they are going to work or not. The disc's in very good condition for that. It's been very well looked after. I found a copy of Forza Horizon as well. All three of these were in the same charity shop, and again, this one is quite a late release, so it's only really got a little token leaflet in the booklet. The disc is in good condition. This one cost me 50p. I'm going to put that in my own collection, I think, because I don't actually own that. So I quite fancy doing an episode of Retro Plymouth Gamers on that sometime in the near future. So stay tuned for that. Once it starts getting a little more retro, it's not a minute. Headed into the town centre, and I found myself buying this, Buzz the Mega Quiz for the PS2. Now I'm going to keep that for my own collection. It cost £1, but upon opening it, it actually had a copy of Buzz the Big Quiz in there, and also Buzz the Sports Quiz is in there as well. So that's pretty cool. So it was 3 Buzz games for the price of 1. So I'll sell those 2 on eBay. I should imagine without the boxes, they'll get me a couple of quid back, I would think, for the 2 of them. So if somebody's going to buy those, I should imagine, that sells Buzzers. But I'll keep the Mega Quiz myself, put it in my own archive collection. I got myself a game from CEX for the Sega Saturn. I'm in the Sega Saturn mood at the minute, so I bought myself Virtua Fighter 2. Most people have this in their collection. This copy here, I think was like £2.50 or £3.50. It's in very, very good condition. Sadly, the box needs repairing, as these sort of boxes do. They're a bit of a nightmare, and the glue does come away from the boxes over time. However, the booklet is in very, very good condition. I would say that chances are that's probably been read once, maybe twice, including my flick through. And the disc is the grey version of the disc. There are a few different versions. I think there's a green version and maybe a red version as well. I just put a little bit of sellotape over the logo here because it had 2 pinpricks of bit rot on the disc. So I want to stop that before it goes any further. At the moment in time, with 2 little pinpricks, chances are the game's going to play absolutely fine, but you don't want that spreading, and you don't want to get it to the point where it's sort of peppering the disc. So Saturn games are notoriously bad for that, and I will do an episode in the near future telling you guys what to look out for with games when you are buying them out and about in the wild. I went to another charity shop and I took a bit of a punt on this, which is a Ryder truck rental Corgi Mack truck. I don't know whether you see it that well there. It's quite nice construction. It flips up. It's got a little engine bay there. The rear doors on the back of the truck open up. I had a hell of a job trying to get these open in the charity shop, but yeah, they open up, and as you'd expect from a kid's toy, it's pretty good detail. A nice metal bottom, Corgi Juniors. So I'd say that's probably from the 1970s. I paid £1 for that. I figure on eBay that's probably going to do me about 10 quid, maybe a little bit more. So I was quite pleased by that pickup. I don't usually pick up, toy cars or things like that, but I figured that kind of resonated with me. And it looks in pretty good condition apart from the paintwork on the front, which is a little bit chipped, but it's been played with. Can't really expect anything else. These I picked up. These tape players, they're cassette players, CP706s by Alba. These appear to be brand new and sealed in their boxes, never used. I would estimate they're probably from the mid-90s, if not late 90s. Probably Argos fodder, I would think, maybe 20 quid new when they first came out. I got these for £4 each. I don't think I'm going to lose money on those at all. I'm going to try on eBay for about £15 each. And I think that someone will probably pay that because they've got their original headphones in there, the instruction booklets as well. And yeah, they're pretty good, to be honest. The silver one, the black one. It is what it is, really. Cassette players are still relatively collectible, so there's no reason why somebody wouldn't want to buy those. Moving on with the cassette theme, I bought this, which I don't know whether you can see it that well. It's a Sony cassette corder, they called these, and you had different versions. You had music ones, you had data sets as well, which these are often quite useful for using for retro computers. So things like your old Amstrads, Commodore Amigas, Sinclair Spectrums, they're very useful for that sort of thing because they have sort of a line mic on them, which used to transfer your data from your tape through to your computer. Alternatively, you can use it to listen to audio tapes on it. I paid £5 for that. It's by Sony. It comes with its original Sony 6V AC adapter as well, which is very important because if you didn't have that, trying to find a replacement one of those would be an absolute joke. So it's been pack tested in April 2018, so it's been tested beforehand. I feel quite confident that I'm going to probably sell that for a lot more than £5. I'm going to estimate between 15 and 20 on that. I didn't look it up, but I'm willing to hang on to it for as long as needed, really, until it is worth the money that I want to get for it. I'm not desperate to sell any of the stuff that I buy. So yeah, I mean that's my pickups. I kind of feel that I did quite well this time round, and it's only really from a day's looking around in the town centre. I plan on having a look a bit further afield in the coming days to see what's out and about, and I'll do another video and you catch what I've been selling, what I've been buying, and if I sell stuff in the meantime, I'll let you know how much I've sold stuff for. Yeah, if you're quite interested in seeing, nosing at what I find, then like and subscribe to the page on YouTube, and yeah, I'll keep plugging you with stuff that I get that's quite interesting. Nice little retro bits and pieces. So I'll see you on the next time. You can catch the last episode as well, which I think was last week, where I found various bits and pieces whilst out and about further up in Devon from CEX and charity shops. And yeah, I'll see you on the next time inevitably. See you later.